Davis will be back in studio, and Joel Klatt will be here to break down the latest playoff rankings. We're here every morning at 9:30 Eastern on FS1. The Broncos and Chiefs each won dramatic road games this weekend, and right now the best division in football might be the AFC West. The Chiefs and Raiders are both 7-2, and the Broncos are 7-3. Colin Cowherd joins us now. The Herd's coming up in a few minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning. Who do you think will win the AFC West?
Pick the Raiders to win it.
Did you?
Yes, and I'm staying with the Raiders. I think Kansas City's formidable, but has a lower ceiling. I think Derek Carr's better than Alex Smith. I think their playmakers are better on the perimeter. I think they have a good enough coach in Jack Del Rio that can match Andy Reid. I was on the Raiders probably as much as you've been on the Cowboys. I would say the last 2 years, I've been on the Raiders similarly. I said last year they'd be the surprise team of the year. It was my first month at FS1. This year I picked them to win the division. I think they get to the playoffs, maybe one playoff win. But in the NFL, generally, it's steps. I don't think they're a Super Bowl team, but I think they could make the Patriots uncomfortable with that offensive line.
Well,
they can push back. Their offensive line can push people back.
Yes. I believe three teams will get to the playoffs out of this division.
You do?
I do. I'm going to stick with the Broncos. Akeem Talib, that was a big injury. He's been out for the last 3 weeks. He's going to come back after the bye week. They get Derek Wolfe back. Plus, Trevor Siemian needed some time to heal up. He's been really banged up. Took another pain-killing injection in that shoulder after the game.
So if you're saying that, then you're saying that Pittsburgh wins the division or they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And so, I'm going to take the Broncos. We'll know a lot more coming out of the bye because they play Sunday night after the bye. For the Broncos, they play Kansas City. So,
interesting. The Broncos may have made the playoffs on a blocked kick.
Yeah, how lucky were they? And how lucky was Kansas City to come from 17-0 down in the
17-3 in the fourth.
Woo, really?
I mean, think about that's how, like last night I watched the Bengals-Giants, and my takeaway is the Giants could beat anybody, they could lose to anybody, outside of maybe a Dallas, Seattle, New England. The whole league right now on a Sunday, it's a coin flip. It's a field goal game.
Yep.
The reason I picked the Raiders to win the West is they remind me of my Cowboys because they're winning with their offense more than their defense. Their offense has to keep below average defense off the field in both cases. And it's the young star quarterback and a pretty good back in Oakland, but a great back in
Latavius Murray.
Yeah. But the offensive lines are 1 and 1A to me, and that's how they win. They dominate you up front.
And there's really, Minnesota's got a great defense, may not make the playoffs. Denver has a great defense. You may not have to face them. When you look at teams like Oakland and Dallas, and people say, well, their defense, outside of Seattle, whose defense really, you look at and go, whoa, Denver if Talib's healthy.
Yes.
But it's just like the NCAA tournament. You may not have to play Kentucky.
Right.
You may not have to play Duke. The Cowboys may never match up with the Seattle Seahawks.
It's all about matchups and when you get them. So if you could, the longer you can go with avoiding those guys, the better off you are.
And Oakland has one big advantage over my Cowboys. There's no Tony Romo in Oakland, right?
I think Oakland has better skill players. You look at Crabtree, you look at Cooper, you look at Roberts. I would say they're better. Their skill players are better than the Cowboys.
Oakland, though, the disadvantage is they have virtually no home field advantage. I mean, they've been better on the road this year, but
yeah.
I think Vegas considers that like a point.
Yeah.
So it's really when Oakland plays, you don't get that Seattle or Foxborough advantage.
Right. Thanks for joining us, Colin. We'll catch you on the Herd in just a few minutes. Time for our final debate of the day. The Warriors had a party at Steph Curry's house over the weekend, and Draymond Green posted pictures of the team with balloons that spelled out supervillains. Steve Kerr said it was Steph's idea. Skip, what do you make of it?
I make of it that I like it because I think the Warriors need it. They need it to beat LeBron James if they happen to get back to the NBA Final. LeBron James. Draymond is a villain, so he should just embrace being a villain. And Kevin Durant, he's better playing mad, playing angry. Remember, he had a shoe commercial in which he was the not nice Kevin Durant. And Steph knows that he needs to be more of a villain than a baby-faced assassin. And Clay is a villain. He has a chip on his shoulder every night. So I like the new attitude of the old Golden State Warriors.
They're not villains. They're not tough. Stop it.
They're not tough?
I played with a guy, and he had all these tattoos, Thug Life, California. I said, dude, you ain't spent one day in juvie. Look at these guys up on that monitor. And you going to talk about they tough.
You know, Draymond's a tough guy.
They ain't
He's
tough.
a tough guy.
I bet not one of those guys been in school suspension.
Hey.
Did
Draymond get suspended?
No.
Did Draymond have a little incident in a restaurant in East Lansing? Remember that?
Yeah,
I don't know what he did.
So now you all of a sudden Kevin Durant got
tough guy.
So he left Oklahoma City, he goes to Oakland.
Yep. Did you see him play mad against his former teammates the other
Klay
night?
Thompson.
Hey.
Daddy was was the first pick in the draft. Steph Curry, Dad was an NBA player. Now all of a sudden they
chip on shoulders. And you tell me LeBron's tough? That's a joke.
Them dudes right there.
That's a joke.
LeBron tough.
Oh, Tom.
Live villains. That's it for us. We're back tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern. Right now, Colin Cowherd will talk live to Maverick Carter to discuss Phil Jackson's latest comments. The Herd starts now.
LeBron James.
Division at 8-1, followed by the Giants at 6-3. We're joined once again by Rob Parker. Rob, you have been a Cowboy hater and a doubter this season.
Thank you, Joy. Yeah. What, Joy? I thought you were on my side.
Yeah. I'm always on your side, but I have to be honest. So you have been. I have to be honest. Who is the biggest threat to them in the East?
I'm going to say Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp, the New York Football Giants, and I'll give you my reasons. Mm-hmm. I think when you have a team, first of all, we know their defense was horrible last year, last place, and they moved up to like 15th. They've gotten better. But when you have a quarterback in Eli, who's not putting up any great numbers this year, but he has won 2 Super Bowls, and I've seen this guy be able to perform at that level. So to me, he could always catch fire or make the plays or make the throws that you need to make. And then you have Odell Beckham Jr., who's a big play receiver and can make things happen. Again, take a game that maybe you're losing and then at the last second, make a play and do that. So when you add all 3 of those things together, improving defense that's better, experienced veteran quarterback that's won 2 Super Bowls and went on the road to win both of them and won big games, and a big play receiver, I like the Giants out of all the other teams. I think they're the team that could beat Dallas or give them an issue as far as the East.
So I was hoping your answer would be there's no threat to my Cowboys because you have finally seen the light and bought completely into my Cowboys.
I don't know about all that, but I ate a lot of crow, and trust me, on Twitter, people got all Dallas Cowboy Nation.
They're on you?
They're on me big time.
How about Bengals Nation? Are they on you?
After last night, my goodness, I watched that entire game. What a waste of time.
The biggest threat to the Cowboys in the East, Jerry Jones. Because he's really the only one that can upset
that is the right answer.
That is a good answer. I understand what you're saying.
But you know what? I'm going to take Washington because I at this present time, I believe I trust Cousins more than I trust Eli and Wentz.
He's no longer third cousin?
No, he's still third cousin. Oh. But he about to drop down. He's about to be off the list. But you look at the schedule. They don't have an easy schedule. They got 4 of the last 7 games on the road at Dallas, at Arizona, at Philly in consecutive in 3 weeks back to back. I just believe in him. I mean, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions over his last 7 games. He's the second least sacked quarterback in the NFL behind Oakland's Derek Carr. I like what I'm seeing. I think their offense behind the Cowboys has the most potential in that division. But because the Cowboys' offensive line and they can just control the ball with Ezekiel and Dak is not making mistakes, they only have really one big play receiver in Dez. But if you look at the Arizona's offense, the Washington offense, they're third in NFL yards per play. So they have big play capability. He's doing a great job of taking care of the football. They protect him. I think they pose a threat, but
that schedule, though, is daunting. You got to admit that.
But let's be real. Unless Jerry messes this up, nobody's catching the Cowboys.
Thank you very much. And I am going to be realistic here, and yet this is conditional on one huge condition, that Dak Prescott is a starting quarterback the rest of the way, because I'm going to give you the final records of all 4 teams. My Cowboys, and I'm being completely objective and realistic here, are going to finish 13-3.
So they got 2 losses.
So I got 2 losses. I'm not going to tell you which 2 they are, but as you always say, well, just because you pick a team, you can't pick them to win every game. I would like to see them go 15-1, and Dak may have to go 15-1 to keep his job. But beside that, the realistic view of this, because they have 4 home games, Baltimore, Washington, the Buccaneers, and Lions. I think they can win those 4 home games, and then I'll leave the rest to your imagination. But I am with you, and I've said this from the start. The team that you picked to win this division, I do fear because of Eli Manning. There's good Eli, there's really bad Eli. But if you get good Eli on the right day, he can beat you. I don't know what you're going to get from him, and mostly it was good Eli at Jerry World on opening day, and the final score was 20-19, Eli over Dak. But it was Dak's first start as a raw rookie quarterback drafted in the 4th round.
Correct.
I got the Redskins going 9-6-1. And the Giants, I got 10-6. 10-6.
Yeah, that tie hurts.
Yeah, it does. 9-6-1, so just half game back. But that could keep you in contention for a wild card. And then I got the Eagles, who have the toughest schedule by far to me, at 9-7. And they got Carson Wentz, and Dak is better than Carson Wentz. And I told you that from the start. I don't trust Carson Wentz nearly as much as I do even Cousins or Eli.
He started so well, though.
He did.
And I saw him when he lost his first game in Detroit, and he had, he was
Played well
unfortunate. He played well, and then all of a sudden, they had a fumble, and then the next play, when they got the ball back, he threw a pick down the field, so they wound up losing the game. But I thought he was going to be better than
At this point.
Yeah.
He fell back to earth.
Right? He's
Dak
come back.
ascended.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
That's what happened. Thank
This
you.
yoga here.
Are they
That
going
was
to win the
good.
Super Bowl with
Nailed
all the Cowboy talk? Can you step out here on the Super Bowl? with
No,
that?
they're going to lose to Tom Brady. It's okay. There's no shame in that. There's no shame.
Tom Brady's
I've
winning the
summed it
Super
up
Bowl
for you.
again?
It's over. You don't even need to watch anymore. Tom Brady beats Dak Prescott in the Super Bowl.
You're still not buying into the Cowboys?
Seattle.
He's starting
Not
to
even a
bomb.
little bit.
No, a little
Seahawks.
bit. I got to admit, a little bit. I can't when they beat the Steelers and
The Steelers defense.
I know.
I can catch like 5 passes right now on the
You
Steelers
might.
defense.
but still they came back twice in that game, right, to win. That's when you start to look at.
Hey,
You look at
42 seconds left on the road at Pittsburgh.
You don't want to look at
Pretty
the
great.
defense. You still ain't going.
I don't wanna
You
look at
still
it.
haven't mentioned the Steelers defense.
no, I don't.
bro.
I understand, but you still got to execute on the other side of the ball, right?
You don't have,
You do,
as
even
bad
with
as that,
them there.
Half execution against that defense to get you.
That's fair.
And Rob, you shouldn't give completely up on your Bengals prediction. Bengals to the Super Bowl. They're 3-5-1, but who in that division is running away? Is Baltimore?
Nobody.
Pittsburgh? Nobody. So you still
But
got a
that's why
shot.
last night was a big game for them. I thought that the same thing when they had the standings. I looked and I said, they're still in this. And then what happened?
I still give them a shot to win this division.
You know
I do.
What? Baltimore, with all their injuries, is going to end up winning this division. With all the
By
injuries they have.
default?
Yep.
But they're about to lose a game this Sunday, so that'll be a setback to 5-5.
No big
You're
joke.
picking them?
What? Oh, wait a minute. Somebody jumped
You
out
gonna
on
do
the
it?
end of the limb already. I heard it.
We picked the game on Friday. I thought we
Oh,
picked games on Friday.
You gotta go.
Tuesday, and
Yeah,
you want to make him
get
pick?
out
I
there.
heard it,
Rob,
though.
thanks for
I
joining
heard
us.
it going there.
Coming up, will Derek Carr deliver a division title to Oakland this year? Colin Cowherd joins the debate next.